Hi from the National House of Prayer in Ottawa. We're representing you in prayer before our government. We are sometimes feeling like we're in the trenches. There's a battle in prayer. And we want to encourage you though that even though many are being discouraged, wondering whether does God hear our prayers, we want to say yes, He does. And He is calling upon the church right now to pray for our nation, to pray for Canada, because we are seeing erosion of values and there's a great concern about the plumb line of righteousness in our nation. So we need this call of prayer. And I want to recognize, even in the midst of difficult times, I look at the scriptures and I look at Paul and Silas, for example, and I wonder, what were they singing when they met at the midnight hour in prison? Things couldn't be worse for them. And they began, it says they were praying and singing hymns to God. And you have to wonder, well, okay, what were they singing? When that earthquake came, when their chains fell off, when prison doors burst open, were they singing, God, get me out of here? And the answer is no. They were praying about souls, I'm sure, because when that earthquake happened, they focused on praying for the Philippian jailer. They focused on staying in that city and establishing a church because their prayers weren't self-centered. They were praying for others. And I really believe that God is saying to the church in Canada that there needs to be an awakening of His bride, an awakening where we have a heart of compassion to pray for our leaders in this nation, to pray for government, that they would make good decisions that would not just affect the church, but would have a benefit in affecting all citizens of our land. And so there's a call of prayer, I believe, that God is initiating. So June 26th, we're holding what is called Government Prayer Sunday. Our goal is to raise up hundreds of churches praying where we can unite on that day to pray for government. Whether it's 15 minutes of a service or even the whole service, that there is that focus to get the church understanding the issues that are important in our land and to pray for good government. And I want to leave you with this little word. Samuel, when he saw the decision that Israel made regarding God, regarding wanting a king like all the other nations, he could have said, well, I'm not part of you any longer. But as a priest, he was representing them. And he stood with them and said, listen, far be it from me that I would not sin against the Lord by not praying for you. We're called priests. We're priests representing the people of our nation. God's called us to pray for the nation, not to move aside, not to have our own kind of little holy huddle on a Sunday morning and be detached from the rest of the nation. We're meant to be holding up the nation in prayer before the Lord because He cares about this land. He cares about Canada. We have an awesome nation, and God's called us into that place to pray that His name would be exalted, that His plumb line would be followed in the land of Canada. So thank you, and hopefully we'll join with you on June 26th. Blessings.